Hello, Minotaurs. Today's class is going to be on defensive line and linebacker alignment designations. Now, you should have seen two files in this particular topic of terminology. One is just the historical version or the traditional way of designating uh, these defensive line and linebacker techniques. You can just check that out just so you might hear that when you watch other football videos or you're watching a game and someone's talking about, 3 tech, 7 tech, etc. They don't make uh, much sense sometimes because they are not sequential. As I said in the notes, Coach Bear Bryant from Alabama, who is a football god in the United States, he developed the initial designations, so nobody really changed it. But many people do internally and their own teams, and that's what we're going to do to make it easier. It's simply sequential. Now, it looks like there's a lot of numbers here, and there are, but just to go over it, if you're a new guy, defensive people will refer to gaps, right? So the A gap, B gap, C gap, and D gap. You can see down here in the bottom with in the red. All right, so defensive people, between the center and the guard, you got A gaps. So there's always two A gaps, two B gaps, two C gaps, and a lot of times defensive linemen and linebackers will be responsible for defending those gaps. And that's how they're given their tasks by their coaches based on, the scheme that they're using. So they will refer to themselves also as playing a one technique right here, a one technique on the center, or zero technique, which would be heads up. So the defensive guys use this terminology as well. So this is an offense and a defensive kind of class. But to just get down to the nuts and bolts of it for the terminology portion, right? So we have the gaps, and then first level defenders, okay, where you see up here, 0 and even numbers means that they're head up. So 0 is heads up on the center, 2 on the guard, 4 on the tackle, and then 6, etc. And you can keep going out to 8, but generally there isn't an 8 unless we got to kind of tackle over or we have a overload formation. You also see that the even numbers also that have I, 2I, 4I, 6I, etc. The I stands for inside. So on the inside of the on the guard, right? Two technique playing inside, that's a 2I, right? So he's shaded on the inside of the guard. Okay. Same for 4I, shaded on the inside of the tackle, 6I shaded on the inside of the tight end. And this also can be used over here with our traditional 3-back and base formation. He can use the same designations, right? So then your odd numbers means that they have an outside alignment off of you. So again, moving from the center out, a 1 is on the outside of the center, a 3 is on the outside of the guard, 5, 7, etc. You have the wide 9. That's referred to if you got a guy lined up way outside, on a whole gap over. Since he's outside, we're skipping right to 9. We're not using 8 because 8 would either be a heads up or 8I would be, an inside on if we had an additional lineman out here or we had a 3-back moving over here for an overload. Okay, so when they are wide off of the last man on the line of scrimmage, they're going to be a wide 9. All right. Okay, and then when you go to the second level, which we'll probably use less of, but the terminology is there for us to use, is basically the linebackers or safeties or really anyone that's playing at the second level. All you got to do is add 10. So if you got a linebacker playing heads up on the tackle, right? It's a 4-0. He's in a 4-0 position. Again, if he's on the inside, shade on you, 40I, and if he's on your outside, 50. And the same logic applies across the board here. So there you have it. That's how we can refer to the techniques that the defense uses, and it's also a way for our defenders to be given assignments and alignments that are more precise than just kind of saying, line up over here and there. You can use the number and it means something definitive. So one last thing, you got example uses of terminology over here. So you could come off the field and you can tell me, hey, coach, we're running outside runs, and I know you want me to get the end. Maybe you're the tight end, and you're saying to yourself, he's in a wide 9, making it nearly impossible for me to get out to him. So I have a real hard time reach blocking him, coach. And then I can make an assignment change. I could say, hey, we need to bring a wham block in from the Z, or we need to line the 3 up over there to get an effective block on that wide 9 technique. There's so many ways that we can use this to communicate to each other more clearly and more specifically in the heat of battle during the game, or when we're talking about assignments. So there you have it, men, and enjoy.